Been getting a lot of requests. Been getting quite a few for a smoky eye. It's been a minute since we've done a classic smoky eye. I want to do classic matte black eyeshadows, but I might use another shadow just in the center just to add some sparkle. I've done this look many times, but let's do it again because we can always use new products. So lately, every time I sit down, so I've already done my entire skincare routine. I have eye cream, serum, moisturizer, all that jazz. But right when I sit down to do my makeup, I always put this on. I've been wearing this now for probably a month. I'm loving it. It just really hydrates my skin, and I love it underneath my eyes. And look at this. This gives you that extra glassy skin glow. I do want to mention I only focus this on the outer perimeter and underneath my eye. Cheekbone through here, just the outer perimeter, not through the center. We don't want to add too much moisture here. Even though I'm normal to dry, I'm still going to avoid the center of my face. Your makeup might lift and it might get patchy through here later. And then also when I sit down, I put on lip balm. This one is my favorite. This is actually my second tube of it. It's the one from Huda Beauty. It's the Silk Balm. It's so good. So just sit down. Right when you sit down to do your makeup, put on some sort of hydrating serum if you're dry, and no matter your skin type, when you sit down, put on a lip balm. It's going to change your lipstick application. So I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to do a cool tone smoky eye. This one's going to be a little bit scarier, but the end result is just so beautiful. If you're just getting into smoky eyes, warm tones are going to be a lot easier. You're going to kind of see where you're going at first. With cool tones, you have to wait till the end before things get cute. You just sit there and you're like, what is happening? But warm tones, I'll show you the difference. This is a great example. I'm going to grab some Dose of Colors palette. So here we have warm. We obviously know that this is very warm. It's going to be flattering on just about any skin tone. And again, it's just going to, you're going to see your vision. You're going to see it as you're doing it. With cool tones, like so, this is the Pretty Cool palette. I'll have them listed. They're going to be a little bit more unforgiving at first, but once you have your foundation on and everything, it's just going to be the most beautiful classic smoky eye. I'm so excited. Let's get started. Okay, so I didn't want quite a white base, and then even my shade Fair here is going to have a little bit too much warmth. So I just kind of added a little bit of the white to the Fair clean canvas just to make sure we have a nice neutral background for our eyeshadow. Okay, so we're going to take our mixture, and I'm grabbing this on my Anissa eye treatment brush. And what we're going to do is we're actually just going to focus most of this through the crease. Don't really worry about the lid. We're going to come back and use something else there in a little while for a base. But for right now, let's just work this all the way up to our brow bone. Kind of just pressing that in. Now, if you have hooded eyes, hooded eye tip, what we're going to do is we're going to start with this shade. This is the Pretty Cool palette that I showed you earlier. You want to grab the smallest brush you have. This is going to be a Mario E5. I highly suggest this brush. And we're just going to pick up that color. And the reason I'm going to use a smaller brush is that we're going to have more control. We don't want to bring our dark color up too high. Also, don't worry about this getting on your lid. This is going to be a smoky eye. For right now, we just need to focus on placement. And if you notice, we didn't grab the darkest color in the palette. That's not where we're at. We're going to start with the middle color, the almost, we'll say next to deepest color. So don't grab your dark color yet. Notice that I'm just going to continue to keep picking this up and pressing this in. But I also want you to notice I'm going to relax my eye, and this is about how far we want our darkest shade to come up. Now, if you have hooded eyes, hooded eye tip, what we're going to do is we're going to start with this shade. This is the Pretty Cool palette that I showed you earlier. You want to grab the smallest brush you have. This is going to be a Mario E5. I highly suggest this brush. And we're just going to pick up that color. And the reason I'm going to use a smaller brush is that we're going to have more control. We don't want to bring our dark color up too high. Also, don't worry about this getting on your lid. This is going to be a smoky eye. For right now, we just need to focus on placement. And if you notice, we didn't grab the darkest color in the palette. That's not where we're at. We're going to start with the middle color, the almost, we'll say next to deepest color. So don't grab your dark color yet. Notice that I'm just going to continue to keep picking this up and pressing this in. But I also want you to notice I'm going to relax my eye, and this is about how far we want our darkest shade to come up. So normally when I do a smoky eye, most of the time I do it rounded, but I feel like the shape this year is definitely going to be a little bit more lifted. So we're going to continue to tap Also, we're not bringing that up. And for a guideline, remember, this is going to be covered in just a little while. I'm using that same shade. I'm just going to kind of start to tap here and just connect that. That's going to give us our shape. Now we're going to switch over to this Scott Barnes 63 brush, and I'm actually going to switch over to this bad boy. Kind of forgot about it. The shades in the Dose of Colors, they were a little warm. I wanted something really nice and cool, so we're going to grab this shade. And notice that I grabbed it on the side of my brush. Now from here, I'm just going to start tapping. Notice how I tapped into that first shade that we laid down. And once we have that laid down, we can kind of go back and forth. I have my window open. It's nice, but it's noisy. We're just going to go back and forth and just kind of tap this out. You can see that start to transition. And if we need to go back and pick up more color, we can do that, but you can see that nice, soft. I'm gonna grab a little bit of Rumor Mill. We're getting to the part where we're gonna add the black, but I'm gonna just deepen through here a little bit more. Such a pretty cool tone palette. I forgot about this one. This one's where it's at. Now we're gonna grab Sheila. Most of you know Sheila, and if you don't know Sheila, Sheila is my filthy makeup rag that I try to keep clean. I try my best, but I swear at night she lives a double life and goes out and just romps around in the mud. So I'm gonna mix these two colors together, and we're gonna pop this on our brow bone. See, Sheila has already given us a cat hair. So we're gonna tap this on the highest point of our brow, and then from there I'm just gonna continue to tap it over this way and over this way. All right, so I purchased these during the Sephora 20% off sale. I don't know, these were on sale and I had to have them. This is the Surat Prismatic Eyes in the shade Scandalize. So you have this part here, and then if you flip it to the side, you're gonna have that. So we'll come back to this later. Remember, I wanted to do a little bit of shimmer. So this side is more like a cream shadow. I'm gonna pick this up on my Mario EF1. And we will just go ahead and tap this onto our lid. That is nice and creamy. Oh my goodness. Kind of just fill it in. We're going to take it all the way up. We don't want it to come too far out of our lid. Ooh, you were too far away. Ain't nobody learning nothing. So I'm just going to continue to tap it through here. Really get on your lash line. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to bring it too far up this way. You can see that it's kind of hidden in the fold of my eye. So now we're going to grab the Mario E5 again, and we're going into this shade from the palette, the black shade. And what we're going to do is we're actually not going to set our lid. Don't worry about any kind of creasing. We're not going to go there yet. What we're going to do is we're going to start to press the gray and the black together. So kind of focus on that. Now that everything's set, if you want to, I'm going to wipe off my brush. I might have too much black eyeshadow on there for this. But if we want to, we can kind of etch and scratch back and forth. I don't normally pull my brush, I normally tap, but once everything is set, all of that eyeshadow base, we can kind of pull it where we want it. So you can kind of just see we're going back and forth, and really what we're doing is we're just melting the black into the gray. You know, I was thinking about adding that shimmer, but this is just so pretty matte like this. What do you guys think? Should we add shimmer? Should we keep it matte? This is so pretty. Give y'all a little time to vote. In the meantime, I'm gonna grab my Sourmet liner and just kind of clean this up through here. I love this thing. Just really gives you nice precision, and we're not wasting wet wipes. Okay, matte is winning. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this in. I don't have anything on the brush except for the Surat cream shadow. Let's make sure that we're not kind of setting any kind of creasing. Creasing is completely normal. That is not bad. We just did not set it. It's meant to be set. Now we're going to grab the same brush, the Mario EF1. Love this brush. And I'm just going to grab this matte black shade here, and we'll just kind of tap that through here. Just kind of keep packing it on until our cream shadow is set. One of the main things with the smoky eye is you want to make sure you don't take it too far up into here. So I'm going to be very precise and just take my time and tap it. I don't want it to leave this little space and come up too high. So now we'll just grab the other end of our liner here, and I'll just kind of follow the shape Notice how black that is? It's even showing up on our black eyeshadow. Just make sure you're getting really close to the lash line. Since the eyes were so detailed, I'm still going to show foundation. I'm just not going to go in depth, but you guys know daily tutorials. And now that we're back on YouTube with the basics, you're gonna get educated, I promise. I'm not slopping you. I'm not just skipping through. I just don't want to run out of slides, and I feel like there's a lot of important information here about this here smoky eye. So I just want to keep stressing, smoky eyes are not pretty until the very, very end. I'm gonna grab my Mario eye pencil, run this along my top and bottom waterline. It's my favorite. Just a little nub. I feel when we're doing something so intense, we have to be reminded that. See, this makes my eye look small because it's not blended, it's not finished, it's not blended through here. Once you get foundation on and concealer, it's going to change everything. Even a little bit of color correcting with the smoky eye. I always recommend just a touch of color correcting. I'm going to be using peach later. There's just so many elements that have to come together until before your smoky eye looks very nice and smooth and blended. Until then, even to me right now, I feel like this looks a fright. But there's just a few steps and a few tweaks that really bring it together. So I already applied my Velour Lashes glue, and I'm going to use my Velour Lashes in the style Flawless. I liked these the other day. They were big and floofy. There you go. Now that's on. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever. This is the color correcting primer, the redness correcting one. I did extractions yesterday and I did a facial, so my face is a little tender today. But this should take down the redness. This is actually one of my favorite primers, especially if you have red cheeks. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of corrector underneath my eyes. Whenever you wear very heavy eye makeup like this, it tends to pull any kind of blue, any kind of purple underneath your eyes. So I'm going to take this Wet n Wild corrector. Love it. Affordable. We love affordable. And I'm just going to work that into the hollows here. And then we'll cover that with concealer. You can see that primer really did take down the redness. If we're still dealing with too much redness, we can grab a green corrector. Green corrector, I can't talk. We're just going to need that much, and we'll just kind of tap that in. And you can see it'll even cancel it further. Just a little tiny bit. I know that looked like a lot, but just a little bit is really going to go a long way. You just want to make sure it's nice and evenly spread out. That way it doesn't cake up under your foundation. Okay, so we're going to do our Lancome foundation, my little sample here. I'm using the shade 335 Bisque C. This is a really good match. I was really impressed. So I'm just going to use that much. And then I'm just going to press that there, kind of leave it there for a second, and then we'll just continue to work this in. And that's so pretty. So I've been using this foundation the last couple times I've done my makeup, and I really, really enjoy it. I just feel like it's very smoothing. It's buildable, yet it still looks like skin, so I'm really liking it. Alrighty, now we're going to grab just a whisper of our foundation, and we're going to put this on the back of our hand. And when I talk a whisper, look at that. That's still going to be too much, but that's all I could do at this moment. So we're going to grab this little brush here. Just grab just a synthetic, dense eyeshadow brush, and we're going to start to press that through here. We're kind of cleaning this up, making sure we didn't bring that black eyeshadow over too far. We're melting in that eyeshadow primer, and we'll kind of take it through here and across here as well, and then underneath there. That makes a world of difference. Got another tip for y'all. So normally I have been wearing my concealer a little bit lighter, but not today. If we have a heavy white under eye with this smoky eye, I'm telling y'all, we're gonna look like we hopped right out the grave. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one that is very close to our skin tone. I'm talking maybe half a shade lighter, and that's what we're going to work in underneath our eye. I'm pressing this in with my Anissa Beauty Angle Concealer Brush, and then I'll just kind of connect it under here. Also, don't worry about taking your concealer too far up under here, because we're still going to smoke that out. Okay, since the rest of our products are going to be powder products, I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye. I'm going to use my Huda Easy Bake Powder today. And my little puff here from Amazon. Just search Makeup Puff on Amazon. These are sold out, but they're all identical. And I'm just going to press that underneath my eye. Still using the Huda powder, but I switched to my brush here. This is my multi-powder brush from Anissa Beauty. Let's just go ahead and set the rest of our face. I'm just going to do the rest of my face with this brush. I'm going to grab this bronzer from Kylie Cosmetics, still one of my faves. This is in the shade Toasty. And I do want you to notice placement. I placed the bronzer more towards this side. You can see that the brush is kind of angled. That way I'm just going to be able to press it right through here. Still get our nice precision, but we're doing more of a bronze and not a contour, so I don't need that perfect angle. So we'll just add some bronzer through here. Notice how I'm pressing and I'm not swiping. We don't want to move any of that makeup. Just pressing it in. We're still going to get that precision, but we're not going to move our makeup and it's not going to get cakey. For blush, I'm still going to use the same brush. It's a one-stop shop brush. I'm going to grab this Alamar Cosmetics blush palette and I'm just going to apply my blush very high. I feel like my cheeks are already going to have some redness to them, so I'm just going to apply it right through here. Alright, let's finish up the eye. This is actually going to be pretty easy. I'm going to grab the Mario. Notice how I'm not coming from underneath. Coming from underneath, we're going to lose control. It's going to drag it down. What we're going to do is we're just pressing from the top of the lash line. Just kind of press it down. So now we're going to grab this side and just start to smoke it out. I'm telling you, I love this eyeliner. You can see there's no separation. And if you do find some, just tap it and blend. So remember our Mario E5? I'm just going to sling this little puff underneath here in case we have any fallout, which we shouldn't. I don't have any more black eyeshadow on here. I'm kind of just smoking this out. But just in case, because we don't want to mess up that under eye, this is a really good way to ensure that your smoky eye does not fall onto your concealer. Now we're going to hop back into this shade from the palette. I just grabbed the Scott Barnes brush again. All we're doing is just kind of diffusing. Look how pretty. And then if we've lost anything up here, we can just kind of tap it in. Woo, there's a spicy smoky eye! Oh my gosh, I love makeup. I hit y'all with an inner corner. This is really pretty, very champagne, cool toned. This is going to be our inner corner. My brush is a prototype, but you could use that Mario one. Look how pretty. Alright guys, I know I'm about to run out of slides, so I'm going to finish my lipstick off camera. I'm filming a tutorial, an IG tutorial with this, so you guys will have that. Of course, I'll post all the makeup details. I'm just going to do a nude lip, so you've seen it a billion times.